the new champion. Luke, first of all, right in front of you, just your right in front. Congratulations. You were limping. What was going on that was causing you to limp there?
I kick with my left foot. Everyone knows that. I like the left kick. Kicked a couple elbows, and I think he checked me once or something. I don't know. It hurts. It hurts, and it is what it is.
Can you, first of all, comment what this means to you? Because you seem like you were kind of bitter from the moment you got in UFC. Like you felt like you weren't getting enough credit, that people weren't recognizing the ability you had, and you even said at the press conference the other day that you hadn't faced anybody as tough as Tim Kennedy and Jacques Ray. And I wonder sort of where that attitude came from, and do you feel like, you proved any point tonight?
Yeah. I've been saying it for a long time. I believed I've been the best. I believe I've been the best in this sport for a long time. And people want to beat down my Strikeforce accomplishments, what I did, and I've taken my game to a new level. I said this last night, and I knew I'd come in there and I'd outperform them and get the job done, no matter what I faced going into this fight.
And Luke, if you could, at the end of the first round, he was on your back a lot there. Were you ever in trouble? And then when you got the choke on him, did you feel that was in? And did you feel there was any chance of getting a submission in the first round at all?
I knew I wasn't in trouble. I was just kind of feeling him out on the back. I wanted to see his positioning and his pressure and just get a little feel for the fight. I had him in the guillotine. Once I felt him on my back, I knew that he wasn't going to be able to advance and do anything. I really knew I had a big advantage there. I mean, it's funny, in positions like that, you already know. Yeah, the guillotine, I rolled him over. I almost had him pretty tight. That's one of my famous moves there on my guillotine. Chris is a tough dude. He worked his way out and hung in there. I couldn't believe he came back in the fourth round.
Two other quick questions for you. One, your gym has now had 3 champions in 2015, including 2 current champions. What impact is training with Daniel and the other great fighters up there, Karyn and the other great fighters, what impact does that have on your performance? And then just number 2, being part of this card with everything that Conor did to help build it up in 2 title fights and kind of a historic night, what do you think that does for your career going forward, and what kind of boost do you think that gives you?
I'm not just saying that before, as I lead up to the fights. This is an iron sharpens iron world. And you can only get so good being a big fish in a small pond. I get the butterflies every day I go into training. I got to spar Kane and Cormier. And, if I'm off my game, I'm going to get beat up. And so I got to raise my level every day I come in the gym. And they got to do the same. And we've been pushing each other for so long. And that's the reason why, we are where we are. I think Chris will potentially better himself from this. And, you got to get around the best people you can. That's the name of the game. I'm so thankful for my whole team. I think we're the best team in the world. Kane's gonna go get his belt back, and then we'll have all of them. Being a part of this card, doing it here at 194, unreal. I couldn't even imagine a bigger stage and a better opponent, and in the fight just to play out the way it did is unreal. And I'm at a loss for words. This is still trying to take it all in.
Luke, you certainly had a great win tonight, but there were some moments of adversity for you. Were there ever any moments where you thought, this is just not going to be my night?
No, I was just exhausted. I've never been that exhausted before in my life. I've been on antibiotics the last 2 weeks straight. I stopped taking them today because it was fight day. My foot was starting to swell up a little bit, especially the weigh-ins. I didn't take them that day, and so I was on my foot, and I was so depleted and want to get the antibiotics in my body, and then my foot started swelling up and tightening up last night. I got cellulitis, basically. It's kind of like staph, I guess, but it takes over your whole foot, and it's just been draining my body, and it's been affecting me, and so I had to fight through it and just make it happen. I knew I was going to go in there. I was going to try to execute, relatively early, so before that would affect me, and unfortunately, it didn't happen that quick. I just had to suck it up, man. It's tough. It's been draining my body. So I'm glad that I got the job done and go out there and perform better next time.
The one controversial moment was the stand-up from the guillotine. Obviously, it was on the opposite side of your body, so tough to finish there. What was going through your head? Did you think, okay, I understand why he's standing up, or were you frustrated at that moment?
No, I mean, I could have worked my way out. It would just took a lot of energy, and I was so like focused on relaxation and conserving energy because I knew that I was on antibiotics and had the infection and everything, and so I wasn't gonna do anything to exert myself in this fight. That's always like my main focus. I like don't fight the wrestling, flow with it, reverse it, and not, overexert myself because I knew that I would have nothing left later on, and so. I was just holding position with the guillotine. I was trying to relax through it, and Chris wasn't advancing, so I was happy to get stand up and just move around. So,
you and DC are obviously very close, very good friends. I was curious, what did he say to you? Obviously, he ran right in, gave you a hug. What kind of words did you guys exchange in there? I know you were kind of the same way when he won his title.
I have no fucking idea. There's not much to be said at that point. We've been through everything together. Living in the garage and at Bob Cook's house and playing video games, sitting on the floor. It's been a long road, living in the gym together, and it's not always so glamorous, but it's just amazing. It's can't put it into words what it feels like to from the bottom to the top. It's an amazing thing. A lot of gold now. The silver watch has got to go. I need some gold ones.
Obviously, for the most part, after the first round, it was a pretty dominant performance. You won the second. Obviously, you could have finished him in the third. Most people thought it could have been over at that moment. You finished him in the fourth. But do you believe after fighting Chris Weidman and seeing what he's done, do you feel like you will see him again at some point in the future?
I know he's a tough guy, and I think he's a cut above, technically and obviously toughness. But like I said, I wasn't joking when I said that before. I really believe that I'll have the advantage wherever this fight goes every time we get in there, and I think he'll come back. But I'll put him right back down. I got a lot of respect for him. But these guys aren't competing with me. I don't see anybody out there.
Any kind of little bit of a redemption that the fight seemed to, I don't want to say turn because it's not like you were losing necessarily up to that point, but a key moment in the fight was him throwing a spinning wheel kick. Is there any sort of redemption in that for you, or is you so far removed from that it doesn't even cross your mind?
I'm blessed that happened. That changed me, it matured me, and it turned me into a different fighter. I embrace that. I love that. Of course I want revenge, but I don't think that was the exact turning point. It definitely had a role. I rocked him earlier in the fight too. I felt good. I felt like I had the upper hand. Even with obviously the setback I had. So, I wish I would have had a little more energy to put it on him and I'll be better next time, no doubt.
What do you think about the UF's performance? Did you get time to see it?
Yeah, I saw it. It was a good. It was. I love you, Will. He put on it. He's a very slick cat. But he better work on his cardio because I could have staph infection all the time, buddy. I'm gonna keep pushing this fight. So he's a tough dude. We'll see what happens. I'm in for a big fight. I want a big fight. The middleweight division is in a weird place now. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what the boss wants. Obviously, I want a big fight. I want a fight that will be great for the fans, and we'll see. That was I'll leave it at that.
And the same question for you. What do you think about Rockhold's performance?
¿Qué piensas de cómo peleó Rockhold?
Fantástico peleador.
Fantastic fighter.
Question for Luke Rockhold. Luke, were you surprised that the fight was not stopped at all at the end of the third round? It looked like it was very close to being finished at that point.
Yeah, I definitely thought the fight should have been stopped. I was actually thought it was stopped. I was in between whether the round was over or the fight was stopped. He was kind of waving it, so I was peeking over. I was hoping they would just stop the fight. I had nothing left in me, and then it was quite the adrenaline jump, realizing he was coming back after me in the fourth, and the man obviously came with it. Yeah, I thought it should have been stopped. It's tough because I'm the same guy. I'm gonna go out on my shield too. I want to be done, finished. But I mean, he took a lot of damage. It's not my job. It's not my call.
And one more for you, Luke. As far as what's next for you, obviously we've been talking about Yoel and his title prospects, but also you've got a loss to avenge over Vitor Belfort. Would that be a fight that would interest you, and do you think he would be deserving of a title shot at this point?
Vitor Belfort on a silver platter would be a beautiful thing. I would love it. I don't know if he's booked with Anderson. Or what's that? No? I don't know. No? Hey. Yoel's a tough dude. I'll let the boss choose.
Question for...
That fight will happen. Me and Yoel will have to fight. We know this is coming.
Vamos a tener que pelear, sabemos que eso viene.
Staying in Cali.
Congratulations. You too, bro.
Black does not bad look, huh? Black and gold. They already have